All right, so you've adjusted where you want your buttons and switches and stuff to be. I've just left them a little bit random. But what I want to be able to show you next is how we go about exporting our parts to be able to 3D print or laser cut. So we're going to start by looking at our dials and our levers for the 3D printing. So if we select on that part, we can see it over here. Right click on that part and we can export that individual piece. What we want to make sure when the export comes up, we either want a name that is meaningful. So the dial and then your name is going to be really important. So when I need to print it out, I know whose it is. And the format needs to be either a step or an STL. They're the two that I can take to the slicing program happily. We want to make sure that it downloads, so then we hit export. So it will then do its thing in the background and we will see a download pop up to say save. So that will either need to go onto a USB and pass to me or airdropped across so that we can get it into the slicing program to send to the printer. So you'll need to do that for the parts that you need 3D printed. For the flat pieces like the base and the console face and the two sides, they are going to be laser cut. So to do that, we're going to add in a drawing. So we're going to go Insert, Create Drawing. From there, we're going to pick two different options. We're going to use that one in a minute, but this one is our export for the laser cutter. So the DXF is the format that we're going to use. So I'm going to go OK on that and let that load up. That'll take a minute to populate. So what we'll see in this case is it has a completely blank page. It doesn't matter about the size of the page for this. But what we need to do is select each individual part. So these three are the ones we want. So I'm going to select on our base. It gives us the option. So I don't want the front view of that because that's not going to be helpful. So I want the flat view of this. So I'm going to go to top. Make sure the scale is 1:1. Otherwise you're going to have a miniature size. I'm going to select that and drop that on. So by default, it then wants to go and project more views. I'm going to hit escape or deselect to then add in my next piece. So I'm going to go insert again, choose my console. Now this one's going to be a bit of a problem and I'll show you that in a second because from the front view, that's not quite right. From the top view, that's not quite right either. Because if we try and print that out, we're not going to have the dimension that we want and we're not going to have, so you can see how it's on an angle. So we're going to come back and we'll need to do something in the Part Studio to be able to fix that. But we're going to go in and we're going to insert our last piece at the moment as well. So I'm going to go back into my base and choose my side. That we're going to take from the right or the left. It didn't really matter, but I'm going to drop him on there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste that. So Command C, Command V. If I wanted to so that I had the same sides out, I could right click on this guy and double click on him and it should bring this back up and change that to being the left so I get them flipped. Not crucial either way. But what I do need to do is go back and fix this guy up. So I'm going to come back over to my Part Studio base. And what I need to do is I need to create a new view that is perpendicular to this. So I'm going to collect on that face and go end. So normal 2. And what that does is get it set up so that this face is now, see how it's a bit of a funky setup? So what I'm going to do now is click over here and I'm going to go named views. I'm going to create, this is my console face and hit enter. So now I've got a new view that is console face. So when I come back over to my drawing, we're going to see in a moment that this needs to update. Control Q should give us an update in a second, because we've now added that named view. So if I go onto that, I've now got that console face added there, which will then square that up and give us the actual size of it. So the only issue we have now is all of these lines are going to cut and laser cut out. What we probably want to do is remove those little center lines. So we're going to right click on this and we're going to go show or hide, and we want to auto hide center marks. We should be able to select all three. And it will give us the option to be able to do all of those, hide auto center marks, because that's what's going to cut out. Now, the last thing we're going to do now is we're just going to add your name to the front here. So I'm going to add a note. You could add other details, but at the moment I'm just going to add a note. The best way to do this is not actually do it on there, otherwise it's going to add there. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to change the color to blue. I want to do that so that it recognizes it to just etch it, not actually cut all the way through. So I'm going to add my name here and version 1 console. Beautiful. So now I deselect and I can move that where I want it to be. So nice and simple, it's there. I can add that in. So this is now ready to export once I rename it. So I'm going to call this my console DXF and my name. So now, once I've done that, I'm going to right click on this and go export. And again, we want to make sure we've got our options right. So we're going to come down here, make sure the format's DXF. I've got a few extra names there that I don't need. And then I can hit export. So everything else we needed to leave the same. We just changed that format. So this is the one that you need to then put on a USB to bring over to the laser cutter to be able to cut it out. So there it is, ready to go. So that is the stage. Last one we're going to create is our PDF of our orthographic drawing. So that's going to be the next video.